today's video, we'll be doing a top 10 on all of the cards inside of the game of Madden 22. This isn't going to be a top 10 on positions or a top 10 right now. This is the top 10 of all year. Before we get into the video, I'm just going to let you guys know there is no golden tickets in this list. I wanted to keep those out. I wanted to use the cards that were here during the prime part of Madden. Also, no like ultimate legend LTDs. And after we get that out the way, make sure to comment down below your top 10, or even if that's too much, because I know it's a lot to think about, get your top 5 in the comments. I would love to see what you guys think, who you thought were some of the best cards in Madden 22. I love reading those, and yeah, let's get right into this number 10. Like I said, this is the only endgame card on this list, and it is going to be Vernon Davis. I do think Vernon Davis has been one of the best cards we've used all year, and I don't know, is Easter promo kind of really the last big promo, so that's why I felt okay including him on this list. He is number 10 though because of how late he was introduced in the list. That's kind of where I'm putting him, but at the end of the day, he was the best tight end in the game for what, 3-4 months until Rob Gronkowski came out. I don't know if it was actually that long, but it felt like the longest time in the world. He was like by far number 1 as well. I know Kyle Pitts was solid, but this Vernon had the highest speed. He had +1 speed on him. He has a route tech ability that is normally 4 AP on a tight end that's a vertical threat. He got it for 1 AP. We've never seen that before. That would have been better than any golden ticket tight end they would have introduced to the game ability wise. And then across the board, he's maxed out everywhere. I just thought that this card made, like, being by far number 1 at your position for a long time kind of you have a chance at making this top 10 list. And I think Vernon was definitely one of those cards. Very good at run blocking, very good after the catch. Everybody had Vernon on their team. That's what it felt like. It felt like everybody who had a little bit of coins had this card on their team. Number 9, we do have Jimmy Graham. And Jimmy Graham, another one that was kind of like, this is probably the second latest one that I am introducing. Now that I am looking at it, yes, this is the second latest one. So after this, we're getting even deeper into the beginning of the year. So Jimmy Graham, though, at number 9, he is a card that basically came out and was an updated Ted Hendricks, right? We had Ted Hendricks earlier in the year, and obviously he started to run down a little bit because of the speed and everything. And then they dropped this Jimmy Graham, and obviously him being 6'7" is amazing, right? He was 97 speed, which is mediocre. I think we were like at that 98, 99 speed range starting to come up very, very commonly at that time. But at the end of the day, 6'7" did make up for it. And then they gave him Pick Artist and Acrobat, the 2 best abilities, I think, in the game on defense for your DBs. And they gave it to him for 2 AP total. So you saved 1 AP, which saving AP is one of the biggest things in this game. You could spend that more on your D-line. You could spend that more on, I don't even know, whatever, your user for out my way, whatever you want to do with it. It saves you 1 AP, which helps a lot. And then across the board, he was actually, they gave him really good man. They gave him really good zone. You didn't even have to user this card, but I did think he was the best user in the game. They gave him really solid block shot at 88, 96 hit power as well, 91 tackling. Jimmy Graham definitely was a card that lasted a while. You still see Jimmy Grahams out there today, even on theme teams. I feel like you could still use this card on a non-theme team as well, just because of that 6'7" frame. At number 8, we have Keyshawn Johnson. And if you guys do not know, when this card first came out, obviously he has a redux because the 95 is the powered up edition. So technically he was a 94 powered up 95. But you guys know he was top end speed. Absolutely top end speed when he came out. He had some of the highest speed. He was 6'4", so he was one of the tallest wide receivers in the game when he came out as well. And he was a route runner. In the beginning of the year, archetypes made much more of a difference. They still make a lot of difference this late in the year. And he was a route runner, so you got your 2 AP route tech. And across the board, he was amazing at everything. Hit every threshold, tall, fast, good archetype. He was the best wide receiver, it felt like, in the game for like, I don't need, like the prime part of Madden, like 2 months. To be that good of a wide receiver for that long in the prime part of Madden, it takes a lot. And I do feel like everybody had this card on the team once he started to drop a little bit in price. Keyshawn Johnson, another card that was kind of similar in that range, was that Robbie Anderson, if you guys remember. I kind of remember both of them being on my team at one point, but Keyshawn was definitely the number 1, and I felt like this was definitely the best receiver for a while there. At number 7, we have the first Cordarrelle Patterson card that came out. If you guys do not remember, obviously he's a 90, so it came out a long time ago. But he actually went off. He went off the day before this, and then they released, or the week before this. And then you guys know Team of the Week comes out on Tuesday, and then these cards come out on Wednesday. We expected him to get the Team of the Week master, which would have probably been like a 92, 90. I don't know which overall was. Maybe it was just a 90 or 92. But at the end of the day, he still ended up getting this wild card Wednesday, and he's still one of the best cards in the game. He had top end speed for the running back. He was very, like I said, very fast for the excel, the agility. They gave him good catching. 82 catching that early in the year is amazing for a running back. And then the animations. His animations are insane. He has the best spin move in the game, the best juke move in the game, as we all know, because he's since got a golden ticket. Since then, he's also gotten a Team of the Year card. I mean, Cordarrelle Patterson, he's been one of the best cards all year. I feel like everybody has definitely had this card on their team at one point, especially this 90 overall. And as you guys know, the one thing that really did suck about him, though, is that he didn't have the best carrying, but his juke move that made him very hard to touch, his spin move that made him very hard to touch, definitely carried this card. I had so much fun with this card all year round with all of his upgrades. I think this one was the most influential, though, of the year. So at number 6, we do have one of the first cards we've ever seen in the game, Ja'Marr Chase. Obviously, he's not on the block right now. Everybody's either bought him or he's just not there anymore. But Ja'Marr Chase, he was the best wide receiver from whatever. I think they delayed rookie premiere like a week and a half, I believe. So he came out like a little bit. So Tyreek had that little bit of rain. But right when Ja'Marr Chase joined, he was the fastest receiver in the game. Basically, almost everybody seemed to have him because most people did rookie premieres, and you could also sell these cards. So these cards were like 250K in the block. He was 6 foot, which is obviously in the beginning of the year, that's fine. That's fine. 6 foot in the beginning of the year, that's fine. He was a deep threat as well. I don't think he got any really good abilities. Yeah, you guys could see no really good abilities in the beginning of the year, but that didn't matter. All you guys know, in the beginning of the year, speed. It is speed. That's all that matters. All of this obviously is just kind of general. He's an 86 overall. You can't really expect much. But if you guys played in the beginning of the year, you know how good this card was. He was a must-have. Even if you didn't do your rookie premieres, you had to save up to 250K to grab him. He was by far wide receiver 1 for like the first 2 months. Number 5, we have Bo Jackson. And this card, obviously, Bo Jackson is Bo Jackson. He's a very, very good card. We know this. We absolutely know he's a good card. But that's not the reason why he was here, right? Because he would have been just another really good running back that came out. This was the start of something terrible for Madden 22. The Bo knows. Basically, I would say the stepchild of Eric Dickerson's 100. I forget what it's called. Freight Train 100. Basically, like the ugly stepchild of that ability. And obviously, it still goes on today. We got William Perry with it now. We got the other 99 Bo Jackson with it now. But this card, like I said, obviously, when he came out, his stats across the board are amazing. He had top end speed for a running back. He was amazing at everything. The carrying above 90, the change direction, trucking, break tackle, all very good. Even had an 80 catching for a power back. But it was the X factor that put him into the spot. Bo Jackson, obviously, like I said, I could talk how much he is good, how good he is as a normal running back, but it was that X factor. And also, he came with a very cool card art. I'm not gonna lie, this is actually one of my favorite card arts of the year. It's one of those animated ones that actually doesn't freeze your whole item binder. I definitely loved this card at the beginning, but I wish Bo Knows would have just stayed with this card and not with the 99 Bo, because I swear that's all I play right now in the end game. Number 4, we have Ted Hendricks. If you guys do not remember, this was the Jimmy Graham before the Jimmy Graham. So basically, I don't know if you guys will see, there's 4 cards that are right here. A lot, like, it's crazy how influential on the year these zero chill cards were. It is actually insane. But at number 4, we do have Ted Hendricks. He obviously was he wasn't the fastest in the game. He was like, I think he was like 1 speed lower than the fastest when he first came out, or maybe he was even 2. But you guys know you can power this card up 1, so he would be a 94, and then you'd have your 2 strat cards, 96 speed. But at the end of the day, that 96 speed did carry him for a long time, being 6'7". They gave him really good man, really good zone, and hit power. And then down here in the box, obviously he's gonna have really good tackling, really good or solid block shit. At the time he came out, 84 isn't as crazy. Obviously would love that 90 threshold, but really realistically, just being 6'7" alone, making plays that no other card in the game at that time would have made. This card was on everybody's team. I swear he was on everybody's team. He was a must have. At number 3, we do have Dan the Man. I love this card for the longest time. I was late to the party. I was starting off the year barely like spending any. I was like on the edge of doing no money spent. I spent a little bit, but in the middle, when things started to turn up a little bit, I did end up getting my coin stack up, and I did use Dan Marino. I love this card. He was on my team for the longest time until the guy later on this list. Dan Marino, an absolute beast. They gave him the #1 release in the game at the time. You guys got to remember, Gen 3, which is a very good release now. People love it now with the Cam Newton release, the Kyler Murray, the Joe Mixon release. Everybody loves that release now. But in the beginning of the year, everybody was still so in love with that Aaron Rodgers release that they gave Dan Marino. And he had solid speed. We were all confused on why they gave 77 speed to Dan Marino, because that was a lot in the beginning of the year for a guy of his caliber, as we know. And then the 93 throw power. I mean, every stat across the board. You guys got to remember, the cards coming out were 89 and 90 overalls when this card came out. So he was the highest overall in the game by like 4 or 5 overalls. It was insane. And you could power him up too, which was crazy if you don't remember. So he was like a 96 overall. He got every team chem as well. I forgot to mention that. He did get every team chem as well. He helped boost your theme team. He was the best quarterback in the game. Dan Marino, I miss when this card was in the prime. I miss having him when everybody else did, and I loved this card. Definitely top 3 of Madden 22. At that number 2 spot, another zero chill card. Isaiah Simmons was one of the best cards in the game from Christmas all the way, I would say, up to like a month and a half ago when we started getting Mike Evans and Ted Hendricks. Those kind of cards kind of pushed him a little bit farther back, but he was always in the lineup. And as you guys know, they messed up the rerolls really bad, and they didn't include these guys in there at first. So they ended up giving one of each card, and everybody really had this card on their team. Basically, everybody had the Simmons for free almost. And he was a card like Ted Hendricks where you power him up 96 speed, get the +2 speed. He was 98 speed for the majority of Madden if you had your strat cards. December, some people still didn't have their strat cards, but he had 98 speed in December as a 6'4" player, 238 pounds. He had really good man, really good zone, really good hit power. The best user in the eye. This was the card that made me move Cam Chancellor to like free safety, strong safety. This was the #1 user in the game for the longest time. I'm talking months and months. He is still very usable today. Like, I wouldn't say, I don't have him on my field in my God squad, but he's right there. And when I come in dollar, he's actually a blitzing corner in that. That's how still valuable. I still love him on the field. But when you guys look at him, 87 tackling, 96 power, not really much block shed, honestly, at 79, but I never really noticed to see that affect us so much because, like I said, he was on my field so long. He never really struggled. I loved Isaiah Simmons in this card, or in this game. He was one of the best cards in Madden 21, Madden 22. Maybe that continues into 23 as well. I absolutely love using this guy. He has some swag out there as well with the armbands, the gloves. He's big. I love Isaiah Simmons, definitely. And the #1 card of Madden 22. I think we all can agree on this. I did a poll yesterday on my YouTube community page, and everybody voted for this card as well. I asked all my Twitch stream, whenever the people's there, I was trying to get opinions on who they thought the best cards. Derrick Henry was in everybody's list. Every single person's list. Some of these cards were like all over the place. I had some Calvin Johnson, Bo Nose that I was thinking about moving Keyshawn Johnson with. But everybody had Derrick Henry on their list. Every single person. You guys know they gave him the Aaron Rodgers release. I still remember waking up on Christmas, like right before this. I wanted to sleep in. I opened my egg, got Derrick. We kind of knew it was Derrick Henry. We went into a game and I saw the release and I'm like, there's no way. They just gave Derrick Henry the Aaron Rodgers release. And you guys know 95 speed was cracked back then. Absolutely cracked. His accuracy stats was the thing that scared everybody, right? He had 97 medium and 84 deep. Or no, he had 87 medium and 84 deep. And everybody was scared of it. But if you guys do not know, the Madden Championship Series were the best pro players in the world. All 4 of those guys in the top 4 all had Derrick Henry, this 96 overall card on their team. And like I said, this card, I've never noticed the accuracies to be a problem. He never fumbled for me personally, unless I was just being stupid with my quarterback. He was just amazing. I think this card is definitely one that you're going to remember for years upon years upon years. Is one of the best cards we've ever seen in Madden. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment down below which cards were missed, which cards or maybe even drop your full top 10 down below. I would love to read your guys' list. Like I said, I know it's a little bit of hard work, a lot of thought process onto it, but make sure to drop down at least your top 5 or something. I would love to read it. I love reading those comments. I love not arguing, but you know what I mean? Like discussing Madden cards. I think it's super fun to do, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, boys.